G'day, everyone. It is Sunday night. It is our show, Comics to Movies and More. For some unknown reason, Stephen has popped himself in the green room as well. I don't know why he's not out here with me, but if you haven't, we go live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Please hit that subscribe button, smash that notify bell. We talk about movies, we talk about comics, and sometimes we even have amazing special guests come on. And tonight is one of those nights. We have award-winning ACCA award-winning Will and Oliver on. So we're super excited to talk to them about a new project that they've got coming out, which is super exciting. So stick around. We're going to talk about everything, everywhere, and all at once. I probably got that wrong. But anyway, I'll bring Stephen out. How are you tonight, mate?
I'm good. I want to give the limelight for a few minutes. I don't mind being in the background. How are you?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll pop you back out there then. And so, everyone, it's just me tonight. You're just going to get 1 hour of this beautiful face. And no, just kidding. So we better say hello to the chat quickly. I did notice about 10 people just dropped off when I did that, Stephen. So I think I've annoyed everyone. But hey, Sassy Gal, how you going? Grace, how are you this evening? I'm guessing Moira's not going to be on because I've just been seeing all of her photos up on social media, and she's got to meet Eddie out of Stranger Things.
I know. How cool is that?
I think it's pretty cool because I'm a big Metallica fan, and if you haven't seen the memes, I'm sorry, but the whole Master of Puppets played by Eddie in the final episode is phenomenal, and I absolutely love it. And I'm only going to talk about that because Stephen said it's way too soon to be talking about Stranger Things season 4. So that's all I'm going to say. But as I said, mate, we've got some amazing guests tonight. We've got Will and Oliver. We've had them on before, but super excited to have those guys as part of the show again.
Yeah, and I think there's a few more in the chat. I think the Nerds is in the chat. And Nerds said a really big shout out. I think he's just received Fractured Charts too. So I saw that on one of his posts. So I'm really hoping you enjoy it. And again, once you finish reading it, please reach out to us because I want to see where you picked up the clues. Because as per normal, the story actually gets solved very, very easy early in the piece if you just follow the clues. So if you do pick up, let us know.
Yeah, I reckon he got them about 2 weeks ago, but unfortunately he's been sick. So the poor guy. So I said, "Oh well, you need to stick it up on social media." And he's like, "I will." So today he did it. So I appreciate that. Actually, I'll give everyone an update as well before we go back to the chat. Dan reached out to us over the weekend. He's getting the A5 signed prints of EJ and Sammy, EJ and Nicole all signed this week. Asked him if he could maybe get a little video of while they're doing it as well. So if we've got that, we will share it out to those. We've got about 35 packages left to send out. 33 of those are actually the print packages. So we're super excited to get all that done and dusted. And then we're also going to start putting out a pre-launch link starting next week for our spin-off series Aquila, and we'll talk more about that next week as well. And if you guys don't know as well, Stephen has Wordsmith 4 up on Kickstarter. I'm sure he'll drop that in the link soon, and I've got the 13th Labour issue 3 up at the moment as well. But go back to the chat quickly. We have Jackie, how you going, mate? He's excited for this one. Favorite film of his year?
Same, absolutely the same. It's that good.
Jackie, you're not going to want to hear what I have to say then, mate.
Everything Doctor Strange wasn't, this movie was. So
Oh, really? Well, my opinions. Oh no, we'll talk about that later. Sean, you got to see the dinosaurs. Which was your favorite dinosaur? Yeah, I went with my little girl to Water Gardens today. They had a dinosaur expo there where they were able to kind of dig for dinosaur bones, which was kind of really cool. They were able to had light boxes there so they could trace over dinosaurs and draw dinosaurs, and then there was animatronics of all different dinosaurs. So it was very, very cool. I am always a big fan of the saber-toothed tiger, and Triceratops was one of my favorite ones when I was younger. I did like the Diplodocus, but since I've grown up, there's no such thing as the Diplodocus. They've changed that to several other long-necked dinosaurs. But yeah, there's a little bit about me.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Grace received it as well. That's awesome. She's just been too lazy to open and post about it. Well, that's lovely, Grace. We won't tell anyone about how you actually wrote the next story, Aquila. So if you don't open it and tell people that you supported it, but yes.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
I am horrible. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, and I do appreciate everyone that has reached out. My wife is currently in hospital, so shout out to my beautiful wife if she's watching this. Yeah, she's in hospital at the moment. So yes, but thank you to everyone that has left a comment, reached out over the last couple of days. It's very, very nice to feel so loved. But enough about me, enough about Stephen. Let's get those two good-looking blokes, get them to put their phones away and actually be part of the show. G'day, Will. How are you guys?
Hey, what's going on?
You can see us back there.
Whoa!
Yeah, you can see me. No. I just like dobbing people in. You know, that you think that no one else can see. You're getting away with it, and
Yeah,
no,
tell us to put some pants on.
Yeah, that's all right. This is this is not for children, mate. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Keep the camera above the waist. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, sometimes it creeps.
Yeah.
That's a bit creepy, isn't it? Yes.
But
How are you guys going? The last time we had you on was on well, no, you were sick, mate, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I got struck down with COVID. I think was that time.
You're pretty cool.
Yeah, I got cooked. I was like bedridden for like 2
Oh,
days.
gosh.
The night of. I really wanted to come, but I was literally in bed, just like
Give us a shout.
yeah. It was,
Well, that's the one place that you usually come, mate. In bed, but that was a very crude joke.
No. Come on. We've sunk already.
same expression always as well. Just
Yes, move along. Hello there. Yeah, no, I had COVID early this year as well, after almost 2 years of escaping any sort of infection. But yeah, I was totally wiped out by it. So it was about 3 days for me. I was like, literally in bed, couldn't really get out of bed, hot and cold fevers and everything like that. So I'm glad to see you here tonight and that you're feeling better.
I'm back, baby. Ding ding. Months later.
So tonight, was it you guys that picked the film?
Yeah.
It was their pick. It was their pick. I love it, but it was not my pick. I was trying to save it actually for something down the track.
So I'm going to leave it to you guys, and I was joking around to Jackie that I was going to bag the absolute hell out of it, but I unfortunately have not seen this film, so I am going to nick away quickly and give my wife a buzz, and I'm going to let you guys talk about it, and then I'm going to come back.
Awesome. I'll chuck it to you guys first. You guys picked it. What did you like about it?
Oh man, I don't know. This movie was just like a combination of 3 films that I love very much. It had that Doctor Strange multiverse kind of vibe. it was kind of like Rush Hour with its kind of like comedy meets scrappy kind of drunken boxing. And then it also had like this Matrix kind of element to it as well, being able to kind of drop into, I don't know, certain abilities loosely around consciousness. I just, by the end, man, I was like crying and laughing. It was just, it's funny actually. Like I didn't know about the movie until I saw this meme that was just this guy talking about what film is possible of, and he's like, yada yada, everything everywhere all at once. It changed what was possible for film, yada yada. And I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, all right, I'll pay this meme up and I don't know, see what he's talking about. And yeah, by the end, I was just like, oh, I love it so. I love
the one thing I did, and there's going to be a couple of Doctor Strange comparisons here because number one, they both came up about the same time, and they both touch on the whole multiverse concept. The one thing I didn't like about Doctor Strange, that it didn't embrace the silliness of the multiverse. It still kept it very formulaic, and although there was, I think, a quick mention to the paint dimension, the dimension they went to, then they changed the paint. It was a quick comment, and it was basically a throwaway line.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh, man, they really embraced the really absurd. And again, going to spoil a few things. There was sausage fingers. There were like all this weird and wonderful things.
Universe.
Exactly, and the Rock universe,
Yeah.
But it embraced, the pure absurdity of it, the absurdity of existence, and while Doctor Strange really felt like a Marvel movie, it felt very, bad guy comes, stop the bad guy, whatever. This one actually was very I'm going to get this existential, and also very nihilistic. If everything is possible, what's the reason for us to try? And I loved it. It was so much deeper. It was like if you actually broke down into why does she bother trying? Why not just end it all, which is like what every villain wants to do, destroy everything. Why not just end it all? Because nothing matters. But I love the concept that if nothing matters, does it flip side mean that everything matters? Because if nothing matters and you just let it go and existence isn't there, does it really mean that it does really matter? I just love all that dichotomy of concepts. And like again, Doctor Strange had nothing on this. Absolutely nothing on this. There was in Doctor Strange, you didn't think about your own existence. You didn't walk out thinking, "Oh my God!"
Well, and that's leave the multiverse at the cinema and then you go home. But with this, you're like,
I felt
exactly.
I felt the opposite. I mean, when I watched this movie, there was that kind of silliness that kind of brought me out of the moment and kind of I found it was a little bit jarring. I didn't like it. I did, though, find the kind of philosophy and the nihilism and the novelty of how they use the multiverse captivating. Like that kept me around. And as you said, that meaninglessness opposed to meaning. And I really liked that, and that kept me. But everything else, I don't know. I really liked that seriousness that Doctor Strange had. And when I saw this and that kind of funny humor, just for something in me, I just felt like it was cheap. But I was still drawn in by how novel it was. Yeah. I was in a weird space where I liked it, then I was also like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I found that when I watched it, or the first time I watched it again with Oliver, but the first time I watched it, I think I was like on the fence, maybe like probably like an hour in. I was like, I could probably turn this off and be comfortable not knowing the end. But when it got to chapter 2, where it was like everywhere and then all at once or whatever. That those concepts, like how it just like changes the style of film, it was just amazing, man. It's really captivating.
I don't know if you picked it as well, and this is one of the things they did really mention, and you didn't get it until right near the end, is not the alpha, but the current Michelle Yeoh. So the main character, the protagonist in this movie, in her universe, it was the only universe that she got together with her husband. There's no other universe and that's where the line comes in, where she was more successful in other universes. She had all the stuff, but I remember the line from one of her husbands in another universe. He mentioned to her, "Look, you think I'm happy, I'm rich and whatever, but I would have given everything away to have
Yeah.
what? And that
Taxes
exactly. And it was like the whole time it was hammered home to her that this was the universe that she never achieved anything. This was the universe that she was at her worst. This was her worst form. And it was the only form where she actually stayed with the husband. And I loved it. I really, really loved that. And
Yeah.
it only came through at the end that you go to, oh my God. And I suppose with Doctor Strange, it was still, for me, I don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Doctor Strange, but it was a lot of jump scares. It was a lot of, and
It had
the
real
thing is,
horror vibe to it.
yeah, but the Doctor Strange had that. The absurdity of Doctor Strange was, for me anyway, it brought me out of my element a lot. Like there's one, again, not trying to spoil the whole movie, but there was one stage when Wanda is basically chasing down the lead characters, and they're closing the doors behind her as she's just slowly walking. The whole Mike Myers thing. You're running away from the serial killer or whatever. She did prove that she's and using a Marvel term, she did prove that she's Omega level. She's like one of the most powerful beings in the universe. She can rewrite reality, and she's walking slowly, chasing these people. It's like,
Yeah,
walk. And a lot of that just takes you. And I get what you mean about some of the silliness does take you out from the seriousness of this movie.
Mm.
But I found with Doctor Strange, it's like, gosh, you can rewrite reality, and you're walking while these guys are running away, and you're just letting them put all this roadblocks in front of you. It's like, and I find that a lot. It pulled me away so much. And you probably heard the joke about the Wanda part, where she was going, oh, why do I need to control the multiverse? Oh, just in case they get sick. I want to find an answer. So you can rewrite reality. Your boys will never, ever get sick. You basically created life.
Yeah.
They're never going to get sick. And that's the whole joke is, if you have the entire multiverse in front of you, just find a universe where your boys survive, but Wanda in that universe had an accident and you can step in. And it was just, a lot of it just didn't make sense. And a lot of motivations don't make sense. And there was nothing thematic about it. There was nothing that brought you heart and soul into Multiverse of Madness. And the big difference with this one was, if you look down past some of the silliness, some of the special effects, it's a heart and soul movie. It's really about personal connections and linkage. Like, to be fair, Doctor Strange, if America Chavez didn't make it, I wouldn't care. I didn't care about the character. There was nothing in the entire movie that made me want to care about the character.
Yeah. Do you are you like up to date with like the comics for like Doctor Strange and stuff?
Not the comics so much. I did read some of the Strange Academy stuff, like when he set up his school, but not so much. I've been a little bit out of comics, to be really fair. But yourself?
Oh no, not really. I haven't read next Marvel comics.
Yeah, but like for America Chavez, like as a character, you didn't feel for her. Like you absolutely didn't feel for her, and you didn't even feel for Wanda. That actually got me a bit sad that I didn't care about Wanda. I honestly didn't care about her, and there was nothing throughout the movie that made you want to care about Wanda. And there was sorry.
Do you like the part where, like, she realized that the only forgiveness that she got, or the self-realization, was to be forgiven by herself in that moment where she's standing there in front of the boys, realizes that the trauma she's perpetuating is forgiven by herself, and then from that decides,
like the other her in the
and just brings the temple down on herself. I like that it was like the only way that you can have release or freedom from yourself is to forgive yourself first. I thought that was for me.
It did, but you got to, and this is where there's there's contrition, and then there's again, I'm taking the superhero genre. There's also justice. She didn't, to be really fair, there was no justice. She mass murdered God knows how many people. She's destroyed how many things with sending monsters across the multiverse, and her only justice was, oh, I'm sorry, stop. So her, you know what I mean? There was no justice in what she did. Now, going back to say with Endgame, there was justice with Thanos. He actually got he found his peace, and it was actually a much more complex character development with Thanos towards the end. I'm talking not the Thanos that came back in the end of Endgame, but the Thanos who finished off Infinity War. There was a sense of you may not agree with him, but he finished and he stopped trying to destroy the world. You know what? I've done what I needed to, and we moved on. But with Wanda, I didn't find it. I found with the character, it was just very contrived, and I would have loved to see, being America Chavez being the main character, some heart into her. Like, why would I want to care about her? And there was one flashback sequence where her two moms got brought to another dimension. But I found a lot of those were really much throwaway lines. It was like a throwaway 30-second bit, and then you're meant to care about her suffering. They usually, when you want people to care about a character, you've got to give a little bit more than 30 seconds of, oh my God, I accidentally sent my parents to an alternate dimension. I can never find them again. There has to be a little bit more. And that's where Multiverse was so good, because you cared so much about these characters, especially the Michelle Yeoh character, because for her, look at all the trials and tribulations she's gone through. And look at her being told she's the worst version in every universe. I'm the worst version. And then to be found in the end that her version was actually the best, because it was the version where she chose love in the end. I loved it. You cared.
Yeah.
But you didn't care. I didn't care about Wanda. I didn't care about Chavez. And I didn't care about Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And when you don't care about the characters, you're not invested in. And
yeah, definitely.
That's I'm going a bit too far. But what's your thoughts? That's why I love this movie more than
is this the Bash Marvel show?
No.
Doctor Strange.
He's down. He's out.
I go off for 5 minutes, and my wife messages me saying Stephen's on a tangent. He's absolutely slaughtering Marvel. Isn't that one of your favorite movies, honey? And I'm like, oh, it is. No.
Make him stop. Make him stop.
It's dead already. It's dead already. No, but what do you think about, say, Shaun, you've seen Doctor Strange, and we can side tangent a bit. I honestly think that there's so much multiverse stuff they could do, and they barely touched on it in Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, well, I think you look at, well, I haven't seen, and I can't compare it to this because I haven't seen the movie, but I think everyone had their own idea of what they wanted the multiverse to be. And this multiverse was nothing like what anyone wanted. And I think that's where a lot of the criticism comes from. For me, I liked the idea of them doing something different, like more of a horror take on a Marvel film. Like, I don't know if anyone's seen New Mutants, but that's another really good, like, kind of horror take on a superhero film. But yeah, I don't know. If you watch, I think the issue now comes about is if you watch the Multiverse of Madness by itself, it's not a great film. If you've watched everything that Wanda is in, plus the TV series, then the movie is I feel is much better. But you're counting on everyone having known, and as you said, Stephen, well, why you're not making me care about that character in this movie? 100%, they don't get you to really care about that character, but they're counting on you having watched Wanda and WandaVision and all of that, and having seen her, dilemma through that, to then kind of watch that film. And I said, this is where Marvel needs to be really careful moving forward when they've got, over 20 films. Not everyone would have seen everything. So you need to either, do a little bit like more montages or something like that, or, really kind of treat the movie. Yes, it is the character, you're building on the character, but still treat it as if someone's watching this for the first time. How do you get them to care about the character? So that's where I kind of jump in. Like, and going back to my Star Wars references, it's the same thing there. Like, I love what Dave and all that's done because I've watched absolutely everything that they've touched. But for people that have not done that throwaway line of Quill and Voss in Kenobi probably wouldn't have got a reaction. I was running around the cinema room as if I was a three-year-old kid on Christmas, like, Quill and Voss! So I think they need to be really careful moving forward with all the other films that they don't kind of ostracize people that haven't watched the everything, because what's going to happen is people will start dropping off, and you will only get the people that have watched everything going, and that's not what you want. You're wanting to keep it mainstream and all that type of stuff. But
but it's just so wild at the moment. Like, when you watch the series that they got going on, plus all these movies, they're activating so many characters at once. It's like, is the next Infinity War just going to have like
Shang-Chi,
100 heroes in it? Like, it's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, it's cool to have like Patrick Stewart and everything like that. But again, you're counting on people having watched X-Men, having watched that type of thing. So it's good for us, the geeks, where we're like, oh my God, they've got all these people in it. But at the same time, a lot of people would have just went, oh yeah, so what type of thing. Yeah, where I think Spider-Man was very different because the three Spider-Mans had their own franchises themselves, type of thing. So everyone kind of, if they hadn't watched all of them, they knew that there was Tobey Maguire, knew that there was Andrew Garfield. Super excited to see that he's signed a mega deal to do a trilogy of movies.
Really? When did that one pop up?
So that popped up the other day, Sony, and going to be a little bit of a crossover with the MCU as well. So
I know that was a rumor. I knew they were going to give him a third film. That was the big rumor, But I never knew he signed. So that's
the issue that they're having is getting Tom Holland to sign again. That's the one that they're having trouble. Yeah,
because Tom doesn't want to sign with Sony. I think he wants to sign with Disney, and there's all the legal with the
well, that would make sense.
But I 100% agree with you on that. Look, the reason why it worked in Spider-Man is because you brought back old Spider-Mans into a new Spider-Man movie. Now, remember X-Men Days of Future Past? When they brought Patrick Stewart into the First Class Mutants. When and they brought Ian McKellen. They brought them back. It was great because people who watch X-Men like seeing other X-Men come in. That's why Spider-Man worked. But why it didn't quite hit with Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange fans may not be X-Men fans. So when you showed, and the thing is, and some of it you didn't get. Like, for example, I think Inhumans only had like 2 episodes before they pulled the rug on it. So
I had 8.
8?
Come on, mate. You had a whole season.
8. But the whole point was, if you didn't watch it, when you saw Black Bolt, you were going, who's that? Why should I care? And a lot of it was that, why should I care about these characters? And I think that was the biggest miss. Absolute biggest miss of the film. And that's where everything was. I really want you to watch it, Shaun, because everything is totally different. You care about every single character. If any character dies, you feel it, and you're going, "Oh my God, please don't die, please don't die." And that's the whole film when I was watching it. Is I was just begging these characters not to die, and they killed off quite a few characters as well. So it's like, please don't die. Oh God, they killed. Oh my God, they killed that person. Oh, stop.
Oh, don't tell me that. Now you've just ruined it for me. So, but I was going to ask you guys, how many comic projects do you think have come out and is going to come out in the next, say, 12 to 24 months.
Like of our own projects?
No. I mean, like on the screen. Like, well, I'll ask you that question later, but yeah, I mean, like,
Very
all that
ambitious.
time. How do you reckon there are in the next, say, 12 to 24 months?
That's, I don't know, man. That's
30?
Yeah, maybe 30 to 50. Like, it's a huge
43.
Wow.
43. So let me just rattle off a couple. So some have already come out. So you've got Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, season 3 of The Boys, Love and Thunder with Thor, Miss Marvel, which has just come out, season 3 of Harley Quinn. You've got DC League of Super Pets. And have you not seen that? I didn't know anything.
Oh wait, I did see a trailer for that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. McDonald's had Happy Meal toys, and that's the only
like Superman's dog or something.
Yeah, all the pets.
Super dog.
And I'll tell you what, having now got girls, do you guys have kids?
Yeah. I have a 17-month-old.
Girl, boy. Girl. So, what animal do you think that they give the girls? So the guys have got the dogs, and the Flash has a turtle. What animal do you think they give Wonder Woman?
Instinctively, I'm going to say cat, but I feel like it's going to be something obscure, like a hamster or a gerbil.
Bunny rabbit.
How about a pig?
Ooh.
A pig.
I would have picked that. Wonder
Seriously.
Pig.
Like you, out of all the animals, you couldn't have done like a cool cheetah or in the old version it was actually a kangaroo, which being Aussies that's cool. But a pig.
I would have picked cat. I would have picked cat without knowing. I would say cat's a real good guess.
Yeah. But let me rattle off a couple more. You've got the Sandman series.
That's cool.
You've got She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Season 3 of Stargirl. Black Adam with The Rock. Wakanda Forever comes out in November this year.
Oh, what?
Yep. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Later in December, there is actually a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. There is a Batgirl movie, Secret Invasion. Pennyworth.
Secret Invasion would be cool.
Yeah, Pennyworth, season 3. Ant-Man Quantumania, which is out in February next year. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The Flash. God knows if that ever comes out. The Flash. The Marvels. Madam Web. Blue Beetle. Deadpool 3. Echo Disney series. Black Canary movie. Loki season 2. Fantastic Four movie. Armor Wars. Season 2 of Sweet Tooth. Static Shock. Blade. That's one I'm actually really looking forward to. A Zatanna movie, Ironheart, Green Lantern limited series. A Silk movie from Sony. An Untitled Boys spin-off. Wonder Woman 3. A Superman project. Captain America 4, which they just announced the other day. And also a Wakanda series. So that is all going to come out before December 2023.
Jesus. Disney's popping off.
That is crazy.
Make it rain on these projects.
I saw it the other day, and I was like, oh, 43. No way there's 43 like movies and TV series. And then I was like, far out. And that doesn't even take into your like account your other pop culture type series on top of that. That's purely just your comic book heroes, and really it doesn't even probably talk about some more the obscure ones like Berserker with Keanu Reeves and a couple of other projects that are in the works as well. So,
oh wow, that's getting a series as well, or a movie for Berserker.
Series, I think. I think it's at Netflix. Are you there, Stephen, or are you frozen? I can't tell. Oh, yeah.
I'm just listening. Like, it's just the sheer amount of stuff that's popping up. I'm going,
yeah, it's overwhelming.
I have to see that. Not interested in that. I'm just naturally making on my list. I didn't hear about Cat 4. That's the one I didn't hear about. What? It's not Chris Evans again, is it?
That's with Mackie, Anthony Mackie.
Oh, the Falcon, Captain America.
Yeah, leading on from that. So it'll be him and Captain America.
Yeah. See, and I agree with you on the previous point. It's not everybody has Disney Plus, and some people just watch movies for the sake of movies. Now, if you didn't watch WandaVision, basically you had no idea why Wanda's such evil in Doctor Strange. If you never watch Winter Soldier and Falcon Winter Soldier, you have no idea why is he where's the new costume from? And I think it can be very dangerous game they're playing, and also overloading with so much content. It's also, you want the movies to stand alone by themselves with the TV series to be that little bit extra. Like Moon Knight was really nice because Moon Knight didn't really tie in. You could enjoy it by itself, but I don't know. That's smarter people than me in Disney, and I'm sure they thought about this, and hopefully they figured it out.
I just feel like they are so big now that they can just continue to make these movies, continue to make these series, and they will continue to generate a profit.
Yeah.
And in a certain way, it destroys really good storytelling, but that ability to always make profit, they'll just keep ballooning.
Yeah.
Why would they stop?
Yeah, I'd say there'd be enough of a dedicated fan base that will
just keep going,
watch all the shows, or at least watch a YouTube video before going in to understand what's going on.
Do you know what I think it is? It's got nothing to do with the movies or storytelling. It's all about the amount of toy sales that they can generate.
Yeah. I mean, kids will want to go to see a Marvel movie. You won't even need to have a really reference. It's Spider-Man or it's Thor, and they'll get their parents to go along regardless.
Yeah, we had kids in the Doctor Strange viewing that we went.
Really?
There'd be like jump scares. The kids like,
and the mom, what's going on, and the parents don't know, but they've gone and seen it because it's just a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But I have to say myself personally, like I feel like I'm a pretty big comic fan and more Marvel based. But I have to say, the last two movies, I didn't see them in the movies. I actually saw them at home because it's just like there's just so much, coming out. It's like, I tell you what, I can't get to that and to the next thing that I want to watch and to the next thing and everything. And it's like I can't believe I'm saying that. I feel like I'm overwhelmed with content.
You're getting bombarded. Slow down, Disney, please.
Yeah, I never thought I would hear myself saying that in regards to going, and then it's almost like, I go back to my comic collecting and go, this is the whole reason why I stopped comic collecting, because it was like this series and 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 this series. And before you're looking, going, oh my God, like I've got all this stuff, and what do I do with it? And and we've talked about the storylines, how that kind of they just keep resetting. And I never got into DC because I felt like every time a good story was started, they just reset it another issue one. I'm like, the new DC 52, and then now they've got the new DC 52, and now the new DC 52. It's like, oh, come on, guys! Like, how many times can you do the new 52? Like,
definitely. But what I recommend, Shaun, and I think you probably heard this, is you wait until a good run of stories come out. Like for example, talking about the Batman one, the new DC 52, the Court of Owls and all that. That's a really, really good run to read. So what I did was I waited until it finished, and people saying, "Hey, look, volume 2 or 3 of the new Batman, it's really, really good." So you read those two just as a story by themselves, not in a continuity. You just read those as the story, and it's a really good read. So for me, in terms of comics, I just wait for the trades now, and I wait for the reviews to come out on the story arcs. And if they've started to write stories in story arcs so that they can be compiled now. If you notice, they tend to write 5 or 6 story arcs, story arcs. It's for consumers like me. We wait until it's a good story arc, we pick that story arc out. If we hear it's a crap story arc, we tend to leave it, maybe wait for the next couple. Because like you said, if you invest too much in a particular character, the next time round, it's a totally different character already. It could be the same mantle, and they tend to do that a lot. And like DC, how many times have we reset? How many Flashes have you had? How many Green Lanterns have you had? Even right now, how many Batmans have you had? And it's better to invest in when the story is well written and good, as opposed to trying to get, this links to here to link. Stuff it. Just read that section. That's good.
Yeah.
100%. And sometimes there's books that come out that you've never heard of, and they just have really catchy and clever titles, and you just have to check them out.
Hey,
great. What a segue.
So guys, we've got you on here. When Stephen sent this through to me, I know I knew straight away that it was what it was going to be about. But tell us about this amazing title, Lords on the Piss.
Would you like to, or shall I?
Yeah, I'll try a little bit of it. It's basically set in a parody Lord of the Rings universe. You can see you've got your elf and your dwarf, your hobbit and your dwarves.
The main crew.
And the main character Drossel gets this curse with this ring of sobriety, basically. So him and his friends are always out every weekend getting drunk and partying, and he gets this ring put on him and starts to realize we can't get a buzz anymore.
Yeah.
Can't hang out with these boys because they're incredibly obnoxious when they're drunk, and goes on a quest across this Middle Earth parody to remove the ring on his finger.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of alcoholics trying to help their best mate get his buzz back, and he's just really coming to terms with how obnoxious his friends are when he's not getting drunk with them. But yeah, it's a really fun and exciting script. It's a real big change up from Awaken. So we're really keen to be working on this.
Have you guys seen Vox Machina on Amazon?
I don't think so. No.
I'll send you a link for what it looks like.
Yeah. I tell you what, it's a parody of like D&D, and it is like an adults only animated series, and 100% I could see this this book exactly the same. So if you don't have Amazon Prime, get Amazon Prime, even if you just do the 14 days, so you can binge watch it and then cancel your subscription, or use a BitTorrent. Use a service that you're able to get.
Completely legal service.
That's what I meant to say.
Of course.
Pirate Bay's on the up and up these days, isn't it?
So I've heard. I haven't been on there.
That's awesome. So guys, what kind of made you like Awaken is something like so different to this? What kind of made you guys go in a 520 degree turn and do something like this?
Well, I had this assignment for my course, this screenwriting course, and we got given like a visual prompt to write a story with, and the prompt was a champagne glass with a ring in it, and I had to write like this 5-page script for it, and I was just like fighting every urge to write some generic kind of rom-com kind of story, I was like, there'll be this guy and he accidentally proposes to this girl that he wants to break up with. And I was just like hating the idea of having to write that. And then I just really sat down. I'm like, okay, rings, what does that make me think of? And I absolutely love Lord of the Rings. Got like every Lord of the Rings thing like here in this room. And I was like, all right, I'll do some kind of Lord of the Rings thing. And yeah, I just started writing, and then I was just chuckling to myself. And we took the 5-page script and turned it into like a 15, 20-page kind of like comic, kind of like layout. Yeah, we just had a lot of fun writing some really crude, kind of silly jokes. It's a nice outlet for Awaken, because Awaken is so like, you need to make sure characters are doing these particular things to get into these areas and learning insights and flowing in a certain way, to comedy where it's just like, that's funny, chuck that in. It's a very simple story, and we can just really kind of let loose with it.
It just takes scenes from the Lord of the Rings and they just translate to be so funny. It's just right. There's all this materials here. We're just like, oh, what if they did this instead of? And it just works.
Yeah.
We're like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm super pumped. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I've literally got 6 of the jigsaw puzzles just sitting over here in a pile of my stuff.
We'll have to do a Rings of Power chat at some point when it's
yes
to watch and chat it out.
100%.
Yeah.
I sent you the link to all the characters if you want to bring that one up, because I want to hear these guys talk about their different characters. I think it.
Oh, you want us to talk about our characters?
Yeah, I sent Shaun the link with all the character designs.
Yeah, cool. So we got I'm not sure what will come up first, but I'm sure it's probably Drossel. Our main guy, just human alcoholic. What's his deal,
I'd say he's just your average 30-something-year-old guy who likes to get drunk with his boys, doesn't take life too seriously.
So that's him bang in the center with a mustache. I kind of imagined a bit of a Randy Marsh kind of vibe from South Park when we went with his design, but Randy Marsh meets Aragorn. Super odd combo. But yeah, he's the life of the party, and he loves getting on the piece with his boys. But when he's forced to kind of be sober, he very soon becomes this cranky, impatient, super frustrated kind of character, which we think most of the comic relief will be probably at his expense throughout the series. You have Grant. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I was like, this is such, I feel like such perfect Aussie humor. I haven't even read anything yet, but I can just picture it in my head, like, exactly like what I would be doing with my footy mates and everything, just talking. Like if we were sitting around trying to come up with a story or whatever, and remember this happened and we did this and blah blah. Like, this is very, very cool.
Just on a quest with the boys, man. Just want to get pissed.
I was say, then to the right or left, the Ganda, which is the Gandalf parody, who they request her help on this quest, and she's working at the Prancing Pony, which I think is a strip club.
So the Prancing Pony is now Prancing Ponies, and it's a strip club, and she's working the staff, and she agrees to help out our man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that might be a spoiler, but yeah.
And then we got to have a hobbit, of course.
Yeah.
So in the center is Pip, and he is he looks really sweet and innocent there, but he's actually the loosest unit of the group. Drugs or alcohol, like anything that will get him to any level of high or inebriated, he'll take it on board.
You have to watch Vox Machina. You really, really have to. Like the way you're describing this, you would so love that series.
That's what straight away popped into my head. If I just you sent me the link to Vox Machina, I'll show you what. And it's so well done. It was so funny because I was not expecting this to be an adult film at all, but this is their crew and the the guy down here, like you the alpha or whatever. I know, like what is he? Is he a gnome or I can't even remember.
Half
Yeah,
maybe.
Like he's a sexual deviant. So literally like 5 minutes into the episode, he's like going down on this woman, and he plays a guitar, and his guitar has a big hand, and you can imagine what the hand's able to do and everything. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, watch that series. It will it's really good. So
that's cool. I think I might have seen a trailer for that. Yeah, is it made by a group of D&D players that?
Yep.
Kind of,
I think Critical Role.
yeah.
They used to podcast their games, and then they decided they got popular enough and they got an animation deal. So all power to them.
Cool. Yeah, for sure.
So who's the artist on the series?
His name is Joshua Thompson. We met him through the beautiful internet. But yeah, he's a guy from Canada, just a really laid back guy. He's literally like working constantly. Like he's such a busy bee, and he just loves the idea. So he's able to kind of fit this in the very little spare time that he has. But yeah, he's just got that perfect crude kind of style for it.
Yeah, it's a very makes me reminds me of what's the Over the Hill, or what's the adults can't even think the comedy animated series. It gives me that kind of Woods.
It's like under.
Yeah,
I was watching it the other day. You know, it's Elijah Wood who plays the voice actor for the main guy.
No,
legit.
Is it real?
Yeah. Over the Garden Wall or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to keep me up all night thinking.
I'm checking right now as we're talking. So.
Google.
Google is all the
morning.
But
they're going to hear the keys rattling.
So will this be black and white, or will it be coloured afterwards?
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking about this?
Plan is for it to be coloured at this point. Yeah, we're looking to get it coloured.
We're currently chatting to a sweet lady from Brazil. Her name's Luana, and hopefully she'll be our colorist. She did the cover for us. It has this really kind of like almost like nightclubby kind of vibe. The color tone on the front. I feel like it might be a cool blend. We're going to play around with some of the pages and see how it goes.
Over the Garden Wall.
Over the Garden Wall. That's
just found it.
You were close. You were close.
Like I say, one of the things that we liked with Josh too is the facial expressions. Is it Josh? Josh, the facial expressions of Drusilla in certain moments.
Yeah.
Just looking at them make me laugh, man. It's good.
Yeah.
It captures them well.
Yeah, he does really good with the emotion. Yeah.
So we've got 5 minutes left. So what's going to happen with the series? Like, it sounds like a lot of fun. How, what can people expect? Like, is it coming out soon? Where should we look for it? What should we do to get it?
So luckily we got an extension from Creative Partnerships Australia, which is awesome. And they've allowed us to kind of go forward with Lords on the Piss. So we'll be on Kickstarter on September 1st. And we'll run it for a month. Yeah.
Have you got the pre-launch up yet? Or is that in the next 3-4 weeks? Or what's the plan for the pre-launch?
We got a page ready. We're just going to do a couple of little touches on it. But yeah, we'll have pre-launch up in hopefully the next 2 weeks tops, I think.
Yep.
Definitely share it. We'll share it out. Sorry, Shaun.
That's exactly what I was going to say, mate. Great minds think alike. See? gonna start finishing each other's sentences soon, yeah?
Oh no, that's gonna be too scary.
Nothing wrong with a hive mind, man.
So you mentioned creative partnerships there. Stephen and I know exactly what that is, but for our audience, we talk about have talked about government grants and everything. Again, can you just elaborate on what you got and what it's for and kind of how it works?
Yeah, sure. So essentially, Australia offers a selection of kind of grants to support up and coming artists, which is really awesome. And when we started with Awaken, SK was super lovely to kind of introduce us to this grant and really push us in this direction. So it's called Creative Partnerships Australia's the organization. The program's called Match Labs, and essentially they will give you fundraising advice at this kind of seminar, and when you go to run your fundraiser, they will match up to $5,000 of your funding. So for everyone that donates $1, they will donate $1 as well. So for us, which is awesome, we'll need $5K to make this project, and then there'll be other kind of chip in another $5K, which is awesome.
And the good news for any creator who's currently listening, the next round of applications for basically, I think later this year, it's going to open up pretty soon. So we're probably looking at about an August open, and that's what they typically do. So they've been pretty consistent every year, and they usually make a decision by early September. So I will drop the link to it in the comments. So if any creators who are interested, please do click through. It is going to open pretty soon. The reason I know it's going to open soon is prior to Match Lab, there's another grant program called the +1 grant. And the +1 grant is the equivalent of Match Lab, but for businesses. So if you're Australian Ballet or an organization, you apply for +1. And usually when +1 opens up, the project one, which is Match Lab, will get opened up very soon, Yeah. So I'll share the link again. Any creatives who are interested, please apply. It is a really, really good program, and I'm sure it's actually. I love Australian government sometimes because they do provide opportunities for creatives. I really do.
Yeah, we've just applied for a grant for Film Victoria for Awaken as well. So we should find out in the next 6 weeks. Hopefully, if we get it, then we can continue to work on our scripts and kind of take that to the next level, which is really cool. And get it as an animated series.
Okay, look,
that is awesome. Yeah, I think the creative industry, the grant system there has really started to come on over the last few years and everything. And I know that matching crowdfunding is such a great opportunity because, if you're able to raise a certain amount, to be able to double that pretty much straight away is going, okay, well, I'm able to, set a target that's not like kind of above what audience I can kind of get, or especially for a new project or something. So I've always loved these different creative partnerships. But that +1, Stephen, you said for businesses, they've changed that to only not to profits this year.
Oh, okay. So because I never applied for that one.
Myself look into that because I thought, that might look good, but got busted out because it was a not for profit. So I'm like, no, I'm all about the profit or trying to get the profit. Then I'm like, I'm doing comic books. Are you insane? Why are you trying to
doing it for fun, man, for love?
You just got to do a charity that gives comics to people, the comic charity.
I still say the best grant, the most fun grant I've ever won. And actually, I've actually won this grant with Shaun. It was a grant called Cause a Stir. It's stopped now. I think it ran for about 5 years. Then after the 5th year, they stopped it. But it's basically a popularity grant. Basically, you put it up and you try to get votes. And the top 5 projects with the votes got the $1,000 each for them. And and I remember me and Shaun were like, Oh gosh, vote for us. I don't know you, but vote for me. And it was it was crazy. I think
That's
we were
cool.
leading all the way in the votes. I remember this. Our little project was just leading all the way because it was. I think the voting was for 30 days. We were leading all the way until day 27. And then there was 3 other projects that just overtook us on day 27. And we're going, oh my God, did we spend the whole 27 days and it's all worthless now because we're going to get knocked out. And we
Yeah.
just kept hustling. And I think we came in, we were top 4, which to be
Nice.
fair,
Or
we don't
third.
care.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
third. We didn't care because as long as in the top 5, you got the money.
Mm.
But that was, I would say, that's probably the most stressful grant I've ever applied for.
That's
It
cool.
It's
sounds
fun.
like a lot of work that you
Yeah.
would have to do to kind of
Oh gosh, and it was, but we got it. I was
Good
so
hustle.
happy
Yeah,
when
and when you're asking like your 70-year-old dad to try and work out how to log into something
Yeah,
and
yeah.
vote, and then you realize he voted for someone else, and it's like, oh, but that
Oh,
person isn't really
damn it,
voting
Dad.
for my dad. You're supposed to be voting for me. So,
Betrayal.
But there's all sorts of grants, and definitely do look out. And I've always encouraged people because if they're out there, they do want to help you succeed. And I think that's
Mhm.
the sense I do get from Australian government as a whole that hey,
Yeah.
if your project is worthwhile and there is merit in it, we will help fund it. And I love that. I absolutely love that. I always say, thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Straight up,
Because
man. A
yeah,
lot of countries don't have that.
yeah.
no.
It's such a sweet little privilege to have.
Yeah, and also like it's a testament to you guys that you've won it as well, because it's not the like you can imagine how many people go for these type of
Yeah.
grants as well. So to get that is another pat on the back for such amazing work you two do. So but we'll have to get you back on in September sometime while the campaign is running, so that we can
That'd be awesome.
do that. Maybe we can do like a Lord of the Rings movie marathon, and then do your show afterwards.
Again,
or
in
something.
addition, watch all of them. All
Yeah.
15 hours, one
So
stream.
that's it. We'll do a watch party and then do the live stream afterwards or whatever. So, yeah.
Watch me turn into Gollum in real time.
That's it. But thanks so much for coming on, guys. We super appreciate you taking the time to spend it with us on a Sunday evening. We definitely look forward to your project coming out. But in the meantime, how can people find you, follow your stuff, or all that? Where can they go?
We're in the middle of a transition on our Instagram. We've kind of taken a break. We are on Instagram at the moment. We're awaken_the_official or awaken_the_official. But we will be transitioning to our publisher name, which is Flat Times, in the next few days. So either one of those. Just mysterious.
That's very cool, guys. Well, thank you to everyone that's come along tonight. We appreciate your support, watching the show, supporting all the creators we have on there. These guys are amazing. So keep your eyes out for Lords on the Piss. I think that is such an awesome. I'm never going to get tired of saying that. I can tell you. I would just be walking down the street and I'll be humming that. There needs to be a little theme song. I think about this. We need to get someone to
We'll
do
get
it.
working on it.
So yeah, and in the meantime, go watch Vox Machina. I reckon you guys will
we'll check it out.
absolutely.
You will love
Absolutely
it. You'll absolutely love it.
It'll be good
But
inspiration.
but thank you again, guys, for everyone. We go live each Sunday night at 10 p.m. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and smash that notify bell. Until next week, have a great weekend, or what's left of it.
Yeah.
See ya.